remaining in clearly designated groups. Elves stayed with elves, dwarvish craftsmen gathered with their kin, who were often hired to protect the merchant caravans and were armed to the teeth. Their groups tolerated, at best, the gnome miners and halfling farmers who camped beside them. All humans were uniformly distant towards humans. The humans were paid in kind. But we were not seen to mix amongst themselves either. Nobility looked down on the merchants and traveling salesmen with open scorn, while soldiers and mercenaries distanced themselves from the shepherds and their reeking sheepskin. The few wizards and their disciples kept themselves entirely apart from the others and bestowed their arrogance on everyone in equal parts. Today we discuss the themes of racism and classism within the work of The Witcher. This is the artistic frame that the book is starting us off with, so I hope you stick with us as we hop into these ideas today.
Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty.
So from the gate, I start with that preamble. This text at the very beginning is a musical performance by Dandelion. Jasker, pronunciation's not my thing, I'm a reader. But specifically here, we're showing him trying to communicate these artistic ideas to everyone, and they can't just connect with each other. And this is the frame. We've discussed him being the narrator. He is the lens for understanding this work, and from the gate he is showing that he's trying to give his ideas to individuals that cannot just simply come and connect with each other. He's almost become numb and is burned by this. And we continue on from that monologue. A tight-knit, dark, and silent group of peasants lurked in the background, resembling a forest with their rakes, pitchforks, and flails poking above their heads. They were ignored by all and sundry. And so we see a powerful idea that here from the gate, then even the poor are ignored by everybody. In this separation and arrogance amongst different groups that wish to show their own differences rather than seeing what they share together, which is a theme throughout The Last Wish. That the monsters and humans have more in common than they think. But they are all there to share art. This is the power of the venue. That through this medium we can try to share our ideas with everyone despite their inability to connect to each other, and we might be able to have some hope. The exception as ever was the children. Freed from the constraints of silence which had been enforced during the bard's performance, the children dashed into the woods with wild cries and enthusiastically immersed themselves in a game whose rules were incomprehensible to all those who had bidden farewell to the happy years of childhood. Love that. What a powerful idea. That the rules and systems in which we can all engage have been forgotten by those of us who have grown to think we are somehow better than the children who see no divide between each other. That enthusiasm and enjoyment may be brought, and this actually acts in a separation, removal from the artistic act. And that our hope might be in those that are able to move past and engage in a new performance. Children of elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, half-elves, quarter-elves, and toddlers neither knew nor recognized racial or social divisions, at least not yet. At the gate, what we're suggesting from our author is that as children, or at the youngest and our most pure, we do not see a divide amongst each other, at least not yet. This happens later, that we start to break off and divide. And so we gain this as a contextual understanding of this work because we're trying to understand, when does this happen? When does that go away? When will that happen for Ciri? Can it be prevented? Can we perhaps pass on something better? If only we could remember the rules to that game. And so this is an interesting point to leave off, but I think that's what we have to move past and try to understand, that the book is telling us that we need to look specifically at that. At what makes these social and racial divisions unrecognized in the games of children. And this is where we pick up next week as we discuss equality as it is broken down within the philosophy of The Witcher. So I hope to catch you next Monday here on Circle Theory.
From when the White Wolf fought, a silver-tongued devil, his army of elves, at his hooves did they revel. They came after me with masterful